Aloha, aloha mai kako, everyone. Mele kalikimaka, everybody. Hey, we made it through the year almost. Woo. Um, hey, I actually have a really interesting report today, and I'm going to talk about the 12 ʻEhas. I've done a collective of some of the things that are reported for 2019. So I'm going to start with number 12, and we're just going to kick it right off here. The PIG. Beware of the PIG, also known as the Permitted Interaction Group. As we know that the PIG investigated City Trustee Akina for not supporting the Board of Trustees' decision to delay the internal audit. And I think this is a really important actual situation to be paying attention to because if any of you are running for ʻEha trustee in the upcoming elections for 2020, this is something that you should be very aware of. This is a process that any trustee can be under investigation for their statements or their position for not going along with the Board of Trustees. So remember, we have new PIG members in there, and some of the older PIG members are a little more akamai. The new PIG like to run around a little bit. So maka'ala everyone to who might be looking at putting their their throwing their name into the ring for the ʻEha trustees coming up. Anyway, number 11, that's not my LLCs. Oh, shoots, yeah. Sorry, Judge, that is our LLCs. One of the things that happened all over this year was ʻEha refusing to first acknowledge that the LLCs were theirs, that were in question for the internal forensic audit that was unanimously voted by the entire BOT, and a few years, I believe a year back, so. And we spent $500,000 of beneficiary funds to have this internal audit to be including the LLCs that were created. And unfortunately, the audit only went back to 2012. So that's one of the things that we're seeing. But yeah, this is one of the issues that we had to go back and forth and contend with getting in documentation and financials in regards to the LLCs. And actually, ʻEha had to go to court. And the judge did finalize that the LLCs did belong to ʻEha, and there was an acknowledgement and admission. Oh, sure, yeah, they are. So anyway, that was number 11. Number 10, revenues promised, revenues denied. Remember that there was supposed to be $15 million in revenues increased. ʻEha is supposed to be receiving 20% of income derived from the University of Hawaii, City Lands, Honolulu Harbor and such. And there was a bill out that went through the ledge, and it actually was voted down by the Hawaiian Office of Hawaiian Affairs and the Hawaiian Committee because they wanted to see the final results of the internal audit, which included the LLCs. So that's a big deal. That was a lot of money for ʻEha. And we definitely are going to be seeing that coming up in the legislature action this year. So maka'ala everyone on that. And then number 9, telling the CFO to shh. And who the CFO and where did he go? Many of you may not remember, but the beginning of the year of 2019, David ʻEha, who was the actual CFO at the time, was actually reported as saying that Kamana Opona Crab was not actually qualified for his CEO position and that they should not renew his contract. And as we all know, that did not happen. And we had an interim CEO, which was Sylvia Hussey, who was confirmed towards the end of this year for a $500,000 5-year contract for the new CEO position. So anyway, CFO David ʻEha was actually reportedly escorted by HR out of the building, and there was no statement given in regards to that situation. So that was number 9. Number 8, nonprofit third party pass the buck on beneficiary grants. Listen, I talked about this quite a bit this year, and over the years, there's been more grants that became very contentious. And this year, we had $5.7 million in grants that were third party administrated out to various nonprofits that were able to bid. on who is going to administrate the grants. I have a big issue with this, and the reason why I have a big issue with this is because we should have all of our grants, administrated in-house. There's a lot of administrative fees that go out to these nonprofits for doing the HANA, and frankly, I've said quite a bit about that. So that's number 8. Number 7, first Mauna Kea ad hoc bump up to the chair of Committee on Resource Management. Why was that issue important? Number 7, that was actually Dana Huna, who is the Kauai trustee. And the reason why I felt it was important is because the Committee on Resource Management was in charge of the forensic audit, the internal audit. And he actually did vote with the unanimous voting of the BOT, and at the same time opposed and did not support the internal audit at the same time. And also let's remember that, Dana Huna and several of his employees are also under investigation. That was something that we saw back in 2017. We all remember that we saw the document where he was requesting legal aid, and the reason that he was requesting legal aid was for FBI investigation. Frankly, I would, and I had said this before, that I would not want anyone handling our trust, our beneficiary trust, if it's $1, if they're under any kind of investigation or scrutiny. And so that was number 7. Number 6, where's ʻOha and Olelo Hawaii? Listen, we had a lot of issues with Olelo Hawaii this year. We had professors go to court. We had, actually the beginning of last year, January, it kicked off at the Ku'i at the Capitol. Our own Daniel Anthony was arrested for requesting an interpreter in Olelo Hawaii. We've had a lot of our language that has been used for commercial, and there's a lot of things that ʻOha should have been front and center advocating, and we did see some advocation on some things. However, we need to see this year, I would love to see some advocation in regards to all Olelo Hawaii and all public documents, regardless of what it is. And that's something that ʻOha should definitely do. And I believe they actually just got all of their basic core documents and internally for ʻOha. They agree that should all be in Olelo Hawaii as well. And I'm thinking, this is like 50 years. Shouldn't ʻOha already have their documents in Olelo Hawaii? Why do we need to actually put that on the agenda? Anyway, that was number 6. Number 5, Lahui wants a rescission, ʻOha, not cloudy vision, okay? Where is ʻOha when it comes to UH? We all remember how ʻOha made a big deal that they filed a lawsuit against UH for mismanagement, and they shouldn't be managing Mauna Kea. But did we ever see an actual rescission from ʻOha not supporting what UH has been doing? I mean, I remember early this year that we had all of our people on every moku except for Kauai. Kauai did not get a UH administrative rules meeting, and that was very noted as well. And, it's just ridiculous. But the bottom line is that we need to know that ʻOha is, doesn't have cloudy vision, because you got to remember that they've been sitting in meetings with the mayor, Harry Kim, with, heads of XMAS schools and stuff, and talking about what's going on with Mauna Kea and our kupuna and our lahui up there, yet not talking to the people that really matter. And we all know what we're talking about. Okay. So number 4, spending like a drunken ʻOha trustee or drunken sailor. And is there a difference? So there was a confidential report that came out from PKF accounting firm that was delivered to ʻOha trustees stating that the agency will run out of funds. And that was back in 2015, everyone. Okay. So, is ʻOha spending like a drunken sailor? You betcha. I mean, they actually thought that they were doing something when they lowered the trustees' allowances from $22,000 to $7,200. That was one of the processes that they thought that they were doing when they got their state audit finished. So very, very interesting stuff. Number 3, where does ʻOha stand on their pu'uhonua pu'uhulu in regards to DHHL as well? I mean, as you guys heard Uncle Hank them talking about it, if our kapuna were to move to the side of the road, if they were even to hold space permanently at pu'uhonua, pu'uhuluhulu, I have a huge issue with DHHL infringing upon our lahui there at pu'uhonua, pu'uhuluhulu. One of the reasons is I have ohana that have built that ahu that stands there. I have ohana iwi that are there, that are resting there. And so this is a really contentious spot, and we need to know where ʻEha stands when it comes to pu'uhonua pu'uhuluhulu. And when it comes to DHHL, because bottom line is, people, you guys remember that I reported how disgusted I was about the plan for Mayor Harry Kim and for the William Ila, the DHHL chair, to actually stipulate that, you know, that he'll expedite our awards, that he would expedite lease properties and also tiny homes and buildings, and in order for us to support the TMT, to support the desecration of Mauna Kea, that will get expedition in all of our. Now I'm a DHHL beneficiary as well. I'm on the list. You know, I have ohana that work in the department. I'm not, I have to wait in line like everybody else. You know, but the bottom line is, for someone to tell me or to hold any of our lahui over a barrel saying that, you know, in order for me to expedite what you should be having anyway, just because I can, you know. So that was my number two. My number three, excuse me. Number two for ʻEha, where are the live stream archives? Auntie Germaine Meyer has been a strong advocate about this for many years. Me and her have talked about this exclusively, because the bottom line is the meetings are public. They're recorded. We know all of them are recorded. They've been on live stream. And the bottom line is that we know that ʻEha has a YouTube channel. They're able to put all these beautiful videos up. Yet our lahui has no information to discern and even to check an attitude of a trustee, to check the temperature of a conversation that's going on. They're not able to watch the live streams when they get home from their work in California somewhere, because they missed the Hawaii, you know, time frame. And so for me, I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up in California. There's a lot of our families and lahuis that have no idea, you know, the kuleana that ʻEha has to them, and the fact that they're beneficiaries and what their kuleana is to ʻEha. So I think it's really, really important that this year we put a pin on it and we make sure that happens, because it's so important for our people to be able to discern for themselves. That's one of the main things that I've even been doing this whole time. Number one, the internal audit. This is the number one ʻEha of ʻEha for the year. $7.8 million. That has been shown that there is major red flags that should be completely, you know, considered. And the bottom line is that the auditing agency cannot actually give recommendations in regards to criminal. That all has to be investigated. And of course, we all know that, you know, ʻEha is a state agency, and so there's state, you know, processes, but then we also have a federal process as well. So hopefully that's on the table, and we'll see how that goes. But $7.8 million, and only goes back to 2012. You have to remember that the LLCs were started to be created in 2007. So, you know, what happened to all that? We don't have any information in regards to those. And actually, Anna K. Germaine Meyer, again, you know, hit it on the nose and gave a presentation saying we have no documentation of what's been going on with these LLCs since the inception of 2007. So that's where we're at, lahui. Listen, ʻEha's affected by voting. I've got 10 quick little points. I want to see an audit on the legal battles of ʻEha. Listen, we all know how many legal lawsuits ʻEha's been in. I'd like to see an actual breakdown in how many that ʻEha's instigated, how many ʻEha's had lawsuits filed against them, and what the win and loss is, and what the what the financial hit is for each one of those, and how that impacts us as the beneficiaries, as a lahui. Okay, so that's my number one thing. I'd like to see ʻEha being audited back to the beginning, not just to 2012. I mean, frankly, if we're on a roll, let's keep it going. 7.8 million, how much more can we find? That's what I'm thinking. Demand the archive meetings, everybody. I just talked about that. Create an active beneficiary watch group that attends every meeting, video live streams and catalogs every meeting, and then we advocate for those that can't be there. You know, many of the times I'm on Moko Keawe. I can't make it to a lot of these meetings on the outer islands at all. But what I can do is I can use my voice and I could share the information with you. I can let you know what the agendas are going down. Maybe it's important to you, if it's an education, health, you know, local ʻEha, whatever we can do to share the information with you in regards to ʻEha, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I have been doing. Also, I want to get a complete remission of ʻEha regarding federal recognition. I mean, let's get off it, ʻEha, already. We're done with that. It's so old already, and it's just tiring. And that lahui knows more. The information's out there. The results are showing. And the bottom line is that ʻOha's got to move with the lahui because we're moving in spite of ʻOha. And that is the reality. I'd also love to see more supporting of our Lohaʻaina independence and sovereignty initiatives, particularly regarding health, education, and sustainability, not just gatherings, not just parades, and not just workshops, okay? We have lahui that actually need real financial, legal support. Mauna Kea people have been the top on number one. They've always needed it. And so we need to see that all across the board for our lahui. Get ʻOha to work with DHHL, more beneficiaries into homesteads, bottom line. Or let's just get rid of that guy in first place. Stop the outsourcing of third-party nonprofits and create an in-house grants administration program with grant administrators in each office. We have an office in every moku. I don't know how many of our beneficiaries don't even know where it's at. And frankly, every live stream meeting that we have, our lahui should be front and center. And we should be able to have satellite areas, just like Hawaii County does, that if they're doing a meeting in Kona, if you're in Waimea or Hilo, you can go to a special place, to the satellite office. Well, we have offices in those spaces. We need to start using them because they're ours. And they should be meeting spaces for our lahui. They should be places where we should go and give our statements and maybe even video recorded if we don't have the time to be there at the meetings. And bottom line, ʻOha, let's just start supporting the lahui more. Let's just start stepping it up more. Because the bottom line is that's your kuleana, you know. And remember, everybody, hey, ʻOha is affected by voting, okay? And I heard, I got a last-minute little scoops. I heard from a little bird that a certain former mayor from Kauai may be running for ʻOha trustee at large. So, Tita, I think you're a little bit more familiar with the gentleman that I'm speaking about. But more to come. I haven't seen an official announcement. That's just the word out on the street. And everyone, thanks so much for supporting Office of Hawaiian Despair Report. I've been doing this report since last year, actually 12 of 2017. And I looked on a reflection and it's exactly the same things that I'm talking about right now. So we still got a lot of work to do, lahui. Stay informed. Follow us on all the electronicals, Twitter, Instagram, Mauna Built for me, and then for us on Songs of Sovereignty. And Mele Kalikimaka, everyone. Pule for all of our lahui that are holding space, and especially our kupuna that are going to be on the ala tomorrow. So if you're on Moku, if you can come and spend some time on the Mauna tomorrow, make it happen. And let's make 2020 all about healing, lahui, okay? Healing all around. Much aloha. Love you all.